You are about to witness history in the making.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, everyone. It's our end of year show, and this year it means that we're doing our first awards for the year. My name's Haydn. I'm here with Steve.
Hello.
Hi, Steve.
Morning.
Yes, it is a little bit of a change to our intended scheduled recording, because we were going to be recording just before Christmas on a Sunday night, but your internet went down.
It not just went down, the whole area went down.
Yeah, so it wasn't just you.
No, it wasn't. It was actually the whole green box outside my door. The card had gone inside and everyone's internet went down, so they BT went and did that pretty quickly. Took them 24 hours, but, you know. That's nice to see. Otherwise, Christmas would have been a bit boring without the internet.
Yes, it certainly would have been. And you wouldn't have been able to play Destiny. I know you were getting really, really twitchy about that.
And to be honest, right, it was for Christmas. It was needed for all those phone games on the PlayStation and the Xbox.
Yes, of course, it would have been. Yeah,
which we did play both this year. So yeah, but that's for next year. We don't talk about that now.
Yeah, we'll talk about our Christmases in the next show, which will be season 2.
Season 2, as well. Yeah.
So, because this is the last one of this year. And what we're going to do is do our run through of all of the awards that, not the awards, but in terms of the voting for the various different categories, which we had and we'd set up previously. So let's start off with the best PS4 exclusive games. So Steve, what are some of your ones here?
Well, even though I haven't finished them, God of War must admit, that was very impressive. Not seeing a God of War game before. Very engrossing story.
Yeah. I tell you what, it is different to the other Gods of War.
That's
games.
The thing, isn't it? Very much so. So for that, I mean, I think you need to start that from the beginning. I don't think you can just start playing that from where it is.
Yeah.
Controls and the mechanics of the game. I think it's a game you have to start from scratch if I get the time.
Yeah, not for everybody though.
But... No, it wasn't. And even though I would say this is one of the best looking games, as well, with Detroit Become Human is really one of the highlights of the whole year, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of like a Telltale game on steroids, really.
But I love interactive games and the way that they're told where your decision becomes the timeline that you have compared to someone else's. And some of those in the time, I mean, it just looks gorgeous. It's just great. It's that Blade Runner-esque sort of style story and I just really, if any game I need to go back to, even though I bought a few over Christmas, that is a game I really need to finish. To be honest.
Well, when you said you had no internet access, that was the first game that I said you need to get back to. That's
it. Even though I had default, I was playing this. Come on, start, reconnect. But no, it won't. No, but yeah, that was outstanding. Now, I do want to get Spider-Man at some point.
You need to get on that, man.
I've seen it in the sales, but needs must.
Do it.
No, I can wait. I'm sure it'd be even cheaper at some point. I mean, it's been up to about £34, isn't it, at the moment?
Oh yeah.
But for me, my top game is a VR game, believe it or not. And I wouldn't have to say this, but Astrobot is amazing.
Do you know, I've got that still downstairs in the wrapper.
Yeah. Now, I would say, even though I've only played 2 songs in Beat Saber.
Yeah.
And that is a great game.
Yeah.
But I would say it's more limited compared to Astrobot.
Also, it's not a PS4 exclusive because it's also on PC.
That's right, yeah.
So,
And I'm going to just say this now where I remember, because I didn't mention it to you last night. You know where you were talking about the ducking and diving?
yeah.
In the settings, you can raise the height of the floor.
Yeah.
And that will move the height of that.
Well, I tried moving that, but I still had to get right down.
Because I think I took it as high as it could go.
Right, okay.
And I think it was either high or the lowest it would go, one or the other. And then I was standing up and I could just duck comfortably.
Yeah.
On the couple of songs I tried.
Yeah.
So, so have another check out of that. But going back to Astrobot, it's, you know, we've all been taking the mick out of the PlayStation 4 VR for some time. Theoretically, we haven't. How do I put it? It's something that wasn't in my grasp. And I think I've really embraced it more than I thought I would. Even though I haven't played it a lot lately, I haven't played a lot of anything really, but putting that on and, you know, just playing a few of the demos there. And when Astrobot's one of the best looking games on VR there is. Hands down.
Yeah.
Really clever. As I say, I already played Astrobot with the other VR experience, which is a freebie. Mm-hmm. Which gives you a bit of an idea of what you do with, but it still was up to level with that.
Is that the playroom?
Yeah,
yeah.
So it's always worth checking that out because it's free. Just fantastic, really. There's not much more I can say at the moment. Even though I need to go back to it, what I have played of it, I just thoroughly enjoyed it. You know.
Yeah. Well, I have to admit, for me, Spider-Man, I really, really enjoyed that game. It's a good exclusive that PlayStation's got. There's loads to do in that game.
Yeah. Completely
agree as well about Detroit Become Human. I mean, obviously it's that Heavy Rain kind of play, or Beyond Two Souls, which, as I would put it, would be, you know, Telltale on steroids, really. But still, a really enjoyable and beautiful looking game as well, and a good story. And I love the way that if you do certain actions, like for example, if you can kill off one of the main characters early on in the game, and that's the end of it. You don't see the rest of that story arc because they're killed off. And I think that that's incredibly clever. There's some really good plot twists in there as well. But personally, I think that the best PS4 exclusive has got to go, really, to God of War. You know, it was the first game this year that really gripped me in terms of playing it. I know some people just don't feel it, but, you know, I certainly thought, you know, it was a great story, and it was the first game that really took me away from the D word.
Yeah.
And I just concentrated on that entirely until I'd completed it, which has been more of a recurring motif for me, I think, nowadays, than anything else, because, you know, there's been, I think, a few good games this year. But in terms of votes, we had 4 games voted for, and it's quite ironic that they're all exactly the same 4 games as we've talked about. And in joint second place, because...
one ran away with it.
Yeah. 3 of the games got exactly the same score. Was Spider-Man, Detroit Become Human, and Astrobot Rescue Mission. And at number 1 was God of War. So, and that was a runaway with the votes as well, massively in front of
And you would have thought, under all the hype that was around there, you think Spider-Man would have won that?
You would have done, but God of War has always been a big PlayStation franchise. I think, to be honest, if we'd have had an Uncharted game released,
oh god,
this year, that would have been there as well. You know, I think that might have given God of War a run for its money.
Oh, absolutely.
So, okay, do you want to do Xbox One exclusive?
Yeah, well, I think there's only been one, isn't there?
No, 2.
Yeah, there is.
Think of.
Yeah, Forza Horizon 4. When I look back at this, it was over Christmas I was showing this to someone, and it's one of the best looking driving games I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So much that you blink sometimes and you think it's realistic. And as much as a lot of the Brits are going to moan that this wasn't Now, you can't have the whole of the UK. It's not physically possible to do that. Anyone in there, anyone tries to think, why can't you have the whole of the UK? It's too big. But this is more...
even though that we're a much smaller country than most states in America.
Absolutely, yeah. And having Edinburgh, that's great. It's as gorgeous as it looks. Because I've never been to Edinburgh, so at least I can say I've been there now.
Sort of.
I would love to have seen London there as the main town city. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then again, the countryside, the way they design the houses and the pubs and everything else, it just looks amazing. The amount of cars, obviously, is out of this world. We've had the first DLC drop, and that was that was outstanding as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, just absolutely outstanding. And it's great to see it, obviously, on Game Pass, which is how I'm playing it at the moment.
Yeah, and for me as well, the fact that it's plays anywhere. When we say, by the way, exclusive, because of the way that Microsoft do it, we have to go to console exclusive rather than exclusive, because there isn't such a thing on Xbox anymore.
No.
But yeah, I would completely agree. I think Forza Horizon 4 was a standout game, but there was also Sea of Thieves.
And a lot of people are warming to that after its rocky start.
Yeah.
The content they've added to the game, and this take note of this, of any other game, online game. This is what normally happens, that they might seem to be bare bones, with no pun intended there.
Yeah.
They do build on that platform, and you give Sea of Thieves another year's time, and it might even be worth having a look.
Yeah, but evidently, I was watching a video about Sea of Thieves achievements, because evidently they are very, not hard, but time-consuming to get.
Mm.
And you'd have to play it for about 3,000 hours to 1K.
Wow.
Which, to be honest, that's ridiculous. That I don't mind making achievements hard to get in terms of having skill or whatever. What annoys me is grind.
Mm.
So I just think that that's pretty poor. But anyway, so we had the two games. I can't personally think of another Xbox console exclusive.
No, I was just having a browse on my feed, to be honest.
Yeah.
And at the moment, there's a few indie games going to be kicking in there.
Yeah.
But a lot of the other games are all out on the other platforms, to be honest.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, there's, is it Astroneer? Which is on the preview sort of program for games. Is it early access, whatever they call it?
Yeah.
And I think that's console exclusive, but it is on PC again.
True. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
But I'd say things will change. The penny will it will change later in the year with what's to come.
Yeah.
And with Game Pass, what they're going to be adding. I mean, to be honest, we've got a shed load of games. Well, it's a couple of big games in January, Feb, and one of them's about 28 days away that I'm looking at. So I've got to find the money for that.
Yeah, so do I. It's been an expensive month.
It has, yes, and yeah, we gotta go back to work and pay it off.
Yeah, indeed. So, are you going to announce which ones won?
Well, I think everyone would better guess that Sea of Thieves was very minimal, and obviously on top of the tree was Forza Horizon 4.
Yeah, by a considerable margin, thousands of percent.
Absolutely. It was always going to be the case, and not seeing a few more games in that list is a bit of a shame, but, there's games to come, and get better.
Yeah, definitely. So, moving on to PS4 enhanced games. For me, the two main standout ones were Spider-Man, because New York looked absolutely fantastic. The sunsets and everything, the lens flare that they did on all that, the ability to, do all of the selfies, which just, some of it looked photorealistic, to be fair. But also for me as well, God of War looked fantastic on the Pro, especially at 4K.
Yeah.
I know that there were other games out there, but those were the main two ones that sort of came to mind straight off, because I didn't play games like Assassin's Creed Odyssey on the PlayStation.
No.
What about for you?
Well, God of War, I say, did look amazing.
Yeah.
And so did Destiny 2, to be honest.
When it eventually got the 4K patch.
When it got the 4K patch, but it was a bit late then, because after playing that, I switched back to Xbox. But no, it did look good.
Yeah.
And Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah.
But
you're playing it on that console, aren't you?
I am. Now, what I did do is take off HDR the other day.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to... my head's trying to tell me... Well, my brain is saying I've turned HDR off, so it's going to look poor.
Yeah.
But my brain is telling me when I look at it, it does in fact look better.
Yeah.
Because it's taken off that brightness that it's got on HDR.
Yeah.
And I've left it off for the moment.
It's not true HDR in the game, though, is it? Supposedly.
Well, when I turn it back on again, my TV tells me it's HDR.
Oh, right, okay.
So
it's just on the Xbox side then.
Yeah. So when, like you do, if I anything to HDR, the TV will say, "Oh yeah, this is a HDR content." So might disagree with that, but yeah, I have to go back to that, and I just I just stood there in the town and watched it for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Looking how good it looked. But everyone keeps telling me that Spider-Man is one of the best looking games that are out there.
Yeah, and I would agree, to be honest. I think it is definitely one of the best, as is God of War, again. You know, I think that those two are going to dominate the whole of the PS4 sort of charts no matter what, to be honest, because they were the two biggest games of the year on that platform, weren't they?
Yeah, that's true.
So, in terms of the votes, in third place we have 3 games: Red Dead Redemption 2, Destiny 2 Forsaken, and Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Gee.
In second place we have Spider-Man, and in first place we have God of War.
Everyone loves God of War.
Everyone loves God. Well, almost everyone. There are some people who don't.
Yeah.
So, do you do Xbox again?
Yeah, so best Xbox X enhanced games. Now, I've really played probably, I'll say, so let's talk about Destiny. That looks amazing, that game does.
It does.
And the colours, the vibrancy of it in space, and, you know, all the different purples and blues that you get, depending where you're going, whether it's a Tangled Shore or and places like that, which we'll joke about later. Hey, Haydn.
Yeah.
It just looks fantastic, and there's nothing at all wrong with that. Everyone's telling me that Red Dead Redemption 2 looks gorgeous. I'll take the word for it. And Forza Horizon, as I said briefly earlier on as well. And I've got to say, Assassin's Creed Odyssey is probably top for me. Now, I do have Shadow of the Tomb Raider to play, yeah?
Yeah.
But I've only seen the first 5 minutes, so I can't even judge that yet, because it's all in the dark anyway. But I will say that one of the best looking games, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, is just really outstanding as well. You know, I would probably put the cars in front, but I'm going to just nudge Assassin's Creed Odyssey in front for its content and what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just amazing. The environments, all the different, you know, at sea as well, so that just looks great. It looks better. I really can't wait for any more sort of pirate games in the sea, to be honest, which we're going to get next year with Skull and Bones, being another Ubisoft game. So, yeah, I think they're top of the tree for me this year. What's your thoughts?
Well, for me, 2 games really stood out. I mean, Forza Horizon 4 as well, sorry. 3 games, really. That looks utterly stunning, no matter, you know, what you say. It is a fantastic looking game. The way that they've, you know, again, what I quite like nowadays is the way that they're treating things like sunsets and whatever, but also the changing the seasons in the game. You really do feel the seasons, I think.
Yeah.
Shadow of the Tomb Raider, again, Tomb Raider games always look fantastic. This is no different. The environments are very lush, very attractive. But for me, the best looking game was Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Although Red Dead Redemption, it also looked fantastic, but I suppose if you're going by straight enhanced, Red Dead Redemption's got to be right up there as well.
Mm.
But I just preferred the look of Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I thought I really liked the environments in some of the mythical creatures. I like the design of them as well and how they looked. But playing that game in 4K, it looked great.
Yeah. I think most games, any game that's enhanced on the Xbox does look outstanding anyway, to be honest.
Yeah.
They are crisp and very detailed.
Yeah, definitely.
So here we've got a few more games in the little list here.
We have. So, honourable mentions. Do you want to do those?
So, yeah, Star Wars Battlefront 2, which I don't think I remember actually playing now. I'm sure I did.
I didn't think we did, to be honest.
Did I? Didn't I? I can't remember. I'm so not in tune with that franchise at the minute. I can't think of the honourable mentions in my head at the moment now.
Well, Shadow of Tomb Raider, Star Wars Battlefront 2, and Destiny 2 Forsaken.
Yeah.
So they were all in, third place.
Yeah, really. With that last place of the three.
Yeah. all equal number of votes.
And ironically, I seeing joint second place, Red Dead 2 and Assassin's Creed.
Yeah. I'm
surprised there. I think there would have been a margin between those two.
I would have, to be honest.
I'm surprised at number. Well, I'm not surprised at number one, but I would say this should be a joint number one for me.
Yeah.
With Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and obviously in this list, it's Forza Horizon 4. So yeah, all good.
Well, I think that's a worthy sort of thing.
Yeah.
So one of the other things that we said that we'd do is we'd incorporate people's messages. So I've got the first one, which is a text message from Frack, actually. So he'd said, I'd like to thank you both for the time and effort you've put in this year. The amount you cover every week puts much of what is out there to shame. Congratulations on hitting the first Pop Culture Gamers Christmas milestone, and I hope you and the listeners have a merry one. Here's to an even better 2019 with great games and movies aplenty. So thanks for that.
Yeah, thanks, pal.
Best PC exclusive then. Shall I do this one?
I'm going to just sit there and finish my cup of tea.
Yeah, because it's not your sort of forte, isn't it? I mean, in terms of PC, although I've upgraded my PC this year, I've not really played too many, and actually none of the ones that are on the list. So I can't really make any comment. Although
shame on you, that's what I'm going to say.
I must admit the one that's come first I do like the look of. So we have 3 joint second places. Those are Parkitect, which I've not heard of. I presume it's some sort of park designer game. Football Manager 2019 and Enter the Breach. And the number one game for PC exclusive is Frostpunk, which I believe is a strategy game.
Okay.
And
well done to all those games, that's what I'm going to say.
Yeah, it's what I wanted to check out as well.
I could actually go and make a cup of tea now, couldn't I, for about 10 minutes?
No, to be honest, I don't think that either of us have played much Switch games, but the best Switch exclusive, for me, I think the ones that I would have mentioned were probably released at the end of 2017 rather than 2018.
Yeah.
But I did have a look at my son's Pokemon Let's Go game, which did look quite good. I have to admit, for what I know of Pokemon games or whatever, so I'm going to have to say that as that's the only real game I've been exposed to, that's probably the game. In terms of what you guys have actually voted for, we have in third place Super Mario Party, Octopath Traveler and Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze as all Switch exclusives. I'm not sure whether, I must admit Tropical Freeze was also on the Wii U originally as well. I thought it was a bit of a remaster, but...
Well, it's a Nintendo exclusive then, isn't it, really?
Yeah. So, Smash Brothers Ultimate is at number 2, and at number 1 is Pokemon Let's Go. So there we go, I've seen the best game of the year.
There you go.
Best 3DS exclusive, I've not played any 3DS games, I gave up on that quite a while ago, but there was 2 games voted for. At second place we have Metroid Samus Returns and Pokemon Crystal at number 1.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Well done to that game.
Do you want to do best multi-platform?
Yeah, okay. So here we get to, we get to spread our wings a little bit. And Assassin's Creed, again, look, I'm sure on any platform that is on, even PC, it probably looks amazing.
Mm.
It's great that that sort of game can be multi-platform and not tied down.
And I must admit, in terms of Assassin's Creed, I do think that they've done a good job of turning that franchise round.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
After 3, people were really sick of it. Black Flag was a good up. Unity was a disaster. Syndicate was a decent game, but I think that they've got it back to where it should be in terms of the last couple.
Yeah.
Origins and Odyssey.
Very true. Very true. Red Dead Redemption 2 is going to be in there somewhere, even though I'm not playing it on that platform.
Well, it's multi-platform, so you're playing it on the right platform, whichever you're on.
Yeah, I am, yeah. No, I'm thinking
as
more
long
of
as you're not on PC.
Yeah. A lot of people be hanging themselves for that one.
Yeah.
One game that you and I will probably never ever play, and it just does not appeal to me, but it's got, for someone out there, it has, and that Fortnite.
Oh, I've played it.
It seems to have taken over the world at the moment.
Yes. God
only knows why, but it is what it is. I'm not going to...
I'd have thought it would have only been there for 2 weeks.
Yeah, okay. That's the Christmas joke, folks. Right, moving on.
Oh, no, I've got a better Christmas joke. I'll add that later.
Oh, God, okay. But for me, my best multi-format game, as you're going to know, is going to be Destiny 2.
Yeah.
And it was interesting seeing the Xbox giving you your stats for the year. We could bring that in with this, can't we? And I played, my best game was Destiny 2. And
believe it or not, so was mine.
Yeah, because you've been on the PlayStation more. Surely it must have been something. I get that.
No, it was on Xbox. It was Destiny 2.
Oh, really?
Still my most played game. Don't forget, we played an awful lot up until about May.
That's true.
Then I swapped over onto other games because I was getting a bit pig sick of Destiny.
Yeah. And I think, even though I think it's more than that, but they said I'd played 404 hours. Where considering my next game underneath that was Assassin's Creed at 30.
Mm.
And then Final Fantasy 15 at 28, Forza Horizon 4 at 22. And a game that we have not mentioned, actually, Injustice 2. Which is good. That was this year, wasn't it? Must have been.
It was.
And that was a fantastic game. Even though fighting is very much a niche genre for some people.
Yeah, not my sort of thing.
Yeah.
But you can't like all games.
No, so what about your thoughts?
Well, I mean, Assassin's Creed Odyssey was on all of the 3 main platforms. It wasn't on the Switch, obviously, but that for me was Game of the Year, full stop. I really enjoyed that whole sort of storyline, but I've always loved Assassin's Creed. It was just more of it and even better than before.
Yeah.
Red Dead Redemption, I think, was technically a marvellous game. But I am saying technically because I do think it was a pretty crummy story. I think it was full of cowboy cliches. Destiny 2 Forsaken, I really like the Forsaken expansion, but I think that the DLC at the moment is ruining it. I wanted more story content and, like the Black Armory and that, it just isn't the same. Hitman 2, one that I've just recently got acquainted with, now have it on Xbox and PC. And I love that game. I love the fact as well that you get the whole of Hitman 1 if you haven't played it with it as well, or you can have, as a legacy pack. But I think one of the surprise games for me was actually Planet Alpha, which is an indie platformer game. Much on the style of Inside and Limbo, but obviously with a sci-fi sort of twist with really beautiful, colourful, lush environments.
Yeah.
It looks fantastic. If you want to see what the game looks like, if you haven't seen it, have a look at my live stream on Facebook, not Facebook, YouTube. But that to me was a great game. I really enjoyed that one, and currently playing through it as well on the PS4 after doing it on the Xbox.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
So, in 6th place, we have Shadow of the Tomb Raider and Destiny 2.
6th. To be 4th.
Oh, no, was it 5? I'm reading the chart wrong, don't worry. In last place.
In last place.
Shadow of the Tomb Raider and Destiny 2. Follow that, we have Fortnite. And after that, we have Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Yeah.
And in top of the tree was Red Dead Redemption 2, which I think was one of the biggest selling games of the year.
Yes.
I think.
Definitely.
I think it was the top selling game of the year with what the stats came out from Rockstar.
It'd be interesting to see what the drop-off rate is, though.
Yeah, because we've got the multiplayer to play yet, haven't we?
Yeah, but I think that people dropped off that game quite quickly. Because if you remember, like GTA 5, when that was released, people were posting about it for weeks. And it seemed like after 2 weeks, people had stopped talking about Red Dead.
Yeah.
Which is a shame because it was such an anticipated game. Maybe it'll get a new lease of life when we get the multiplayer in it.
Yeah. Maybe.
Anyway, moving on to best single player game, we have, the same sort of games, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which to me was an absolutely brilliant story. It was multifaceted. You had the storyline about your family. You had the one about the Forerunners to the Templars, but you also had a third storyline, which I'm not going to mention about it because I don't want to ruin it for people.
Because there's extra DLC that's out now, isn't there, as well? Yeah,
and now there's all of the DLC as well. But it was, to me, an outstanding piece of single-player gaming. The main campaign, to complete all 3 campaigns in the game took me about 99 hours. But I wasn't rushing it. So, and I think I'm somewhere in the region of about level 60 on the game now. 62, something like that.
Done.
Yeah, it's a lot of gameplay because the levelling up slows down the more that you level up. What about for you?
Well, being a multiplayer man,
yeah,
it's a bit difficult.
But this is best single player game.
I know because the thing is, some of the multiplayer games are single player as well, in a theoretical sense, if you but. But really, anyway, what I would want to say first, 2 really, I suppose, will be Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Red Dead Redemption 2, and so I'd say there's God of War as well.
Yeah. But
out of the 3 of those, I think I put more hours in Assassin's Creed Odyssey at the moment.
Yeah.
So I'll put that on top for me, I think.
Yeah. I mean, another great storyline as well was Spider-Man. Everything about that storyline was really engaging, even the Peter Parker story. which I know is the same character, but obviously treated very differently.
And I really want, at some point, I really love Tomb Raider, and I love the first 2 reboot games that we've had in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
So I really we'll look forward to going into that story.
Yeah, definitely.
For next year.
So, the also rants for voting were, believe it or not, for the best single-player game, Spider-Man, Shenmue 1 and 2 HD, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, Sea of Thieves, and Just Cause were all in 4th place with equal number of votes. Third place, rather. 2nd place, Red Dead Redemption 2 and Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And in 1st place, with more votes than Red Dead Redemption or Assassin's Creed Odyssey combined, was God of War. So, that's quite amazing.
What's in it?
Yeah. Okay. Best multiplayer? Seeing as that you're the multiplayer man with us, this has actually fallen out quite nicely, hasn't it? Because we did basically every other one,
well,
which is our fortes.
Yeah, and to be honest, Xbox tell me that I have done 427 hours of multiplayer gaming this year.
Really?
Yeah. So really, I have played a lot of Fallout 76, and that's not for the reasons that a lot of people are playing it or not playing it. It's just the way it's gone at the minute.
Yeah.
I'd say I've played a huge chunk of Forza Horizon 4. That is fantastic. If you want to go and play a driving game, there's the only one you need to play. Some of the ones in the background that I don't really get involved with anymore, Black Ops, for example, and Battlefield. I've lost faith with those games. I don't like to do them disservice because they've had great games over the year, and I'm sure Battlefield 5 looks amazing. So I've not really seen it.
Yeah.
But there's only one game for me, and you know that. And the way that Bungie are giving us the content in Destiny 2, which is being drip-fed week by week with extra stuff, I think it's a great way of keeping that game fresh from week to week with all the things you're looking forward to in it. Even though you're a little bit behind with the content.
Well, I'm over 100 light levels below you now.
Yeah, I'm 630, 33, 34 at the minute. But with the content that is available to you, which you haven't touched yet,
yeah,
there's plenty of stuff to do, and it's just enjoyable. Some of the quests have been a bit tough, and I've come out the other end, which I'm really pleased to do. Especially some of the exotic quests that I picked up just of late. And Gambit being one of my favourite parts of Destiny 2. It's just so much good fun. And maybe we'll get you in it at some point. It's great when I've played with some other friends before.
Yeah. And
we've had, I only did a Nightfall recently, which we actually just walked through it, to be honest. But it's great, and as we sit now, we got Iron Banners on at the moment with some new armour. The Dawning is still going for a little bit longer.
Yeah,
and Black Armory will continue to add more forges and weapons to go for before the next drop of big content. I think a bit later in the year, which isn't too far away. So, how about you, Mr. Single Player Man?
Well, Forza Horizon 4, I've played a bit of that. Not so much in multiplayer, though, I must admit. Destiny 2 Forsaken, it's got to be one of the best ones. I've recently purchased Battlefield 5, but not really got onto the multiplayer on that yet.
You probably go to look at the story more than anything, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Fortnite, I can understand why people like it. It's just not for me. And I have to admit, my son, who was absolutely in raptures over it, he's gone off it now. You know,
Okay.
it's not the big cool anymore.
Mm.
So, yeah, so that's kind of like an interesting thing. Obviously, I didn't play, Fallout 76. Not interested in FIFA either. Sea of Thieves I played, but I only played it sort of like single player.
Bare bones.
Yeah, bare bones sort of thing. Yeah, so, not... I mean, I only played, according to Xbox, 157 hours multiplayer.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Which was Destiny 2.
Yeah, I'm sure it would have been, wouldn't it? So.
Quite ironically, I played 167 hours of Destiny 2, and 157 of them were in multiplayer. I wonder who that was with.
Yeah.
Let me think.
We'll correct all that this year.
Yeah. I have to admit, though, in terms, I was quite pleased. This year, I've sort of like thought I'm going to have a say about not massively going for it, but just where I can in boosting my gamer score. And I've boosted it by 50k.
Yeah.
So I did 22% of my gamer score, evidently.
Well, that's because you weren't playing Destiny 2, and I was.
Yes, that's very true. That's very true. But, each to their own. I went for gamer score, you went for Destiny 2.
Yeah, I get the odd one pops up now and then,
Yeah.
A few more will pop up in the next coming months, I'm sure, for me, with some other games.
And I have to admit, since that thing was actually run in terms of gamer score, so from January until, because they only run it until something like November.
Yeah.
So when it ran, my gamer score was 231847, and my gamer score now is 237672. So I've added another 5 and a bit.
Yeah, because my increase for 2018 was only 5%.
Yeah.
And that was a game score of 4,305.
Right.
Which is probably spread out with quite a few games, because there's not one game there that I probably, But then again, it said I boosted because my total game score at the time of them doing it was 92,000. But I'm sure I'll get over to 100,000 at some point, maybe this year.
What gets me is that this has changed in terms of the total number of hours that I've played. Because when I checked it before, I had 888 hours, and now it's saying I've got 774.
Well, it's funny, because it says the time I put in for Xbox is 717.
Yeah.
And then 404 glorious hours you spent in Destiny 2.
Yeah.
The month you did best work was August. So it's all a bit weird.
Yeah, but I mean, I've earned 1,282 achievements this year.
So there's little indie games, isn't it?
If I didn't play indie games, I wouldn't find little treasures like Planet Alpha.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so what's the scores anyway? What we got?
Well, in joint third place, we have a load of games.
Everything.
Sea of Thieves, Jackbox 5, FIFA 19, Fallout 76, Destiny 2 Forsaken, Black Ops 4, and Battlefield 5. In second place, we have Forza Horizon 4, and in first place, we have Fortnite.
What a surprise.
Definitely. So, best VR game?
Not too many to choose from, probably.
I'm presuming it's Astrobot for you.
Yes, well, I've done some of the little experiences, and I actually, a couple of days ago, I started the Apollo 11 mission.
Oh, I want to try that one.
And it's only about £6 at the moment. It's only a few quid in the sale. And what I did of that I quite enjoyed is actually you do the whole mission. I've only done just a part of it. But as experiences go, and I love space and exploration. That's pretty cool. And I have got the Martian experience to try it, which I've not booted up yet. This is the one that was involved with what's the movie director's name? It's just completely gone out of my head for a minute. Is it James Cameron? Might have been. But and there's been a few demos and things kicking around like the kitchen, which is pretty cool. And as a Beat Saber, once I got it set up, because it took me a while, to be honest, to get the distance right from the TV, because when I set it up originally, it wanted me to stand right next to the TV to play the game. I was like, hang on a minute, this is not right. I need to be further apart from it. But it took a while to get that running. And that is a great game. It's a little bit of an exercise workout for you as well, as you're moving all parts of your body, swinging them lightsabers around. But as you say, Astrobot for me has got to be this year's best VR game.
Even better than Star Trek?
Well, Star Trek isn't this year, though, is it? So I couldn't really say that. As much as I could say, maybe the DLC was this year.
Yeah, the DLC was this year.
But I haven't done the DLC. I haven't played the DLC with online yet. Where the hours we did put into it with some guys on the PlayStation and on the PC was the original Enterprise missions we did, and on the J.J. Abrams Kelvin timeline as well. And that is honestly an amazing game. And to have that interaction with PC players as well gives it a bit more depth, because you've got more people available to play.
Yeah.
We need to try that at some point.
Well, I think I might actually have it on both systems, to be honest.
Yeah, but it would be easier probably to be on PlayStation to set up and join the game than try and find you in the PC world. But I suppose for you would be, what's your favourite game this year? Or do you have one? Because you've not really played too much VR.
I would say Beat Saber, to be honest, because it gives you a good workout when you're playing it as well, especially when you're doing it on the harder levels, because they are quite intensive.
I've only played them on easy at the moment. Yeah, probably.
Just wait till you get to normal.
No, I can imagine.
Because it comes thick and fast in some parts of it, but it is a good fun game. Yeah, so I would say that I haven't really played many other VR games. Just trying to think of ones that I have played.
Well, I've got quite a few to still play. Have a look at. There's the Arkham Batman game.
But that was last year.
Yeah, Impatient, was that last year?
I think so. So, I think it's slim pickings in terms of, I've bought a lot of games that were last year rather than this year. Yeah,
because I think picking up, as many people probably pick up the VR this year, the catalogue is huge now, and there is a lot of games from last year. Actually, I think even Resident Evil was last year, wasn't it? And that looks good. Even though I've just dipped into it.
One game that always looks good in it as well on the PC is Elite Dangerous.
Yeah, I can justify that from playing it at EGX one year.
It gives a completely different perspective on the game.
Absolutely, it does, hands down.
Because stuff that you take for granted in a normal game, or when you actually look at it on VR, some of the screens are absolutely massive. And the fact that you can get up and walk around your cockpit and stuff like that as well.
Yeah, it's very, that is giving you that little bit extra touch of realism, isn't it?
Yeah. So, so that's it for me. So do you want to do the rundown, third, second and first place?
Yeah, so third place we have Moses, Bravo team.
Do you mean Moss?
Moss, sorry. I said Moses, sorry.
I don't know, maybe you were thinking about parting the waves or something like that.
Actually, I saw a picture of Aquaman come on my screen.
So Moss and Aquaman equals Moses.
Yeah, that's it. Beat Saber was their second place, and first place, obviously, for us is, for this is Astrobot, which is a fantastic game. If you haven't got VR, and I think actually, if you've got VR, I've not played Astrobot. There is a demo out there for it as well, so that could tempt you into
I've
it.
got Zone of Enders to try as well on VR.
Oh dear, yeah, I remember that game back in the day.
Yeah, don't need to say oh dear though. It was an alright game.
Yeah.
Right, okay, so that's it for the gaming sort of side. So now we're on to cinema releases. So, what were your highlights this year for the cinema?
Well, because you got it in your list, and I can't remember. When did Ready Player One come out?
Early this year.
It seemed. I feel like it's a long time.
Yeah, I know,
time
because
going
I
now.
actually, I think I looked it up at the time, thinking, no, that can't be right. It must have been last year.
The anticipation of that coming out for so long, I think that's maybe what it feels so.
Yeah, 28th of March.
Yeah. So I thoroughly enjoyed that movie.
It wasn't as good as the book, though.
No, because there's certain parts of the book I'd love to have seen it, but due to film rights and how they're filming it, it's not. You can't get it all in there. You want it. So I understood that. So I would never knock Spielberg for what he did, because what he had to put into that film to get, there was a lot of work in the background with lawyers for that to get the stuff you needed. Infinity War was a fantastic movie this year.
It was.
Even though I was a bit late in the party.
I kept telling you.
Yeah, and now it makes looking forward to the new one even more so.
Yeah.
Although we just had dropped the Captain Marvel trailer for next year.
The next one. Yeah.
Yeah. A new trailer for that drop. But yeah. That was good. I say some of the movies I've missed out on it so far yet. I haven't seen Aquaman.
I
obviously.
have. And you've got to go and see it because it's great.
We see it's DC, isn't it? But we have our own love for DC. A lot of people don't. And we were talking about that at Christmas with the family, because he was obviously just recently he was on Graham Norton promoting the movie, because it's only just in the last few weeks it came out, and I just went back and put on as much. I don't know why Justice League has been given so much grief, because I really like it.
It's all right.
I know it is, and I think it's because I'm a big Batman fan, and Wonder Woman and Superman, and that it ticks a few boxes for me for that. Later in the year, obviously the anticipation of seeing the new timeline for Halloween with Jamie Lee Curtis, and thoroughly enjoyed that. But for me, the film of the year has to be Mission Impossible Fallout. The action, the sequences, the way they put this together, it wins hands down. But you've not got that mentioned in your list, have you?
No, I haven't. For me, the movies were... I saw Aquaman recently. It's a great movie, well worth watching. He has more powers than just being able to control fish. Black Panther was another great movie. It's not the best Marvel movie, but it was...
No, I still haven't plucked up the courage to sit and watch it. I've got other things I'd rather watch at the moment. Because
it were exactly the same in terms of Infinity War. You enjoyed that,
but I've seen a bit of what Black Panther has to offer from one of the other movies.
Yeah.
So it just doesn't need to be seen in my eyes. You know what I mean?
It's enjoyable. Trust me.
Yeah.
Infinity War was absolutely brilliant. I liked Ready Player One. It wasn't as good as I hoped it would be, but it was still good. My son certainly loved it. But for me, the film that blew it all away was Bohemian Rhapsody, because I just thought it was a film I had zero expectations for. I thought this is just going to be a cash grab, by Queen to, cash in on Freddie Mercury's legacy.
Yeah.
But it was an incredibly good film and incredibly well acted, and maybe painted some members of the band in a bit more of a holier than thou light than needed to be, probably.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, fantastic movie. Fantastic movie.
I mean, there's some films here that won't be in the list at all. Will be some kids' movies.
Yeah.
And I've got to admit, I did sit down. And the reason we got interrupted was because we had some family come back home and on the phone and bits and bits going on. But I did watch a little bit of that Peter Rabbit.
Oh, right. Okay.
Which the kids thoroughly enjoyed.
Is that the one with James Corden?
Yeah.
As soon as I hear his voice, I can't stand it.
No, I know that. Yeah, but if you'd put that to one side,
I can't unless I mute that whole bit where he's talking, which is he's Peter Rabbit, would be quite difficult.
Because there is a lot of stars in that.
Yeah,
and it's well put together, I must admit. And I think the missus even she was saying it reminds me of when I used to read the stories to the kids when they were little kids. Because that's all part of the stories that they interwoven into this movie. So I'll give it a bit of hats up for that, to be honest. There's some other films I haven't got to watch yet. There's Dunkirk, for example.
Doesn't appeal to me, but I don't like war movies.
No, you don't. Rampage.
Seen it. It's a switch your brain off and you'll enjoy the ride sort of movie.
Okay, now, one not in your list is The Greatest Showman.
Was that this year or was it last year?
That was this year.
Was it?
No, apologise. It was 2017.
Yeah, that's why it wasn't in my list.
Yeah, but I think it would have been anyway.
the 4K, I think you'll find it's in the list.
Yeah. Actually, do you know, because when I look via Sky Movies, because they obviously did the timeline slightly different for released movies.
Yeah.
Because Shape of Water was 2017 as well, which is it really that long ago? Wow, I can't believe it. But yeah, no, hasn't been a bad year for movies.
No, I think there's been a lot of good movies this year, and there's a lot more coming next year.
Oh God, yeah.
I mean, 3 Marvel movies within 4 months. Yeah, that's a bit ridiculous. That's overkill. They should have done it beginning, middle, and end of the year. Yeah, they should have done. It's difficult to comprehend on what's going to be coming out, to be honest with you. And I can't even think. Unfortunately, we've got too many Marvel movies that are spoiling what else is coming out. Well, I mean, thinking about Marvel movies, another one that we haven't mentioned is Ant-Man and the Wasp. Yeah. That was a great fun movie. I mean, it's by far, like Black Panther, not the best Marvel movie. I mean, but what was your thoughts as we're in this sort of section? So we've got Toy Story 4 coming out. Yeah. We've got Glass. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah. We've got Aladdin, haven't we? Not looking forward to that. No, because Will Smith's playing a genie, and that doesn't seem to be right for me. No. Obviously, we've got Star Wars, and tail end of the year. Yes, in J.J. Abrams, we trust. Yeah, we've got another Spider-Man movie. Yes, Far From Home. Yeah. What about Hellboy? Did you see the trailer for that? No, I haven't. You want to have a look at that? I'm looking forward to that movie. I'm looking forward to it anyway, but it's just go and watch that trailer. It looks great. And another one I'm looking forward to. People are actually sort of poo-pooing it a bit, but when do you not like a Liam Neeson movie? When it's the A-Team? We got the new Men in Black. Yeah, that looks really good. I'm looking forward to that. And you got, because it's a comedy style movie, and with Liam Neeson can be deadpan as much as he wants. And Chris Hemsworth, we know, also does comedy well. He likes a bit of comedy, doesn't he? Yeah. So I don't think people should poo-poo on that as much as they are. To be honest, I think that could be a good surprise for that one. I think it will be, definitely. Yeah. Other things. I'm not sure. There's supposed to be a Kingsman 3, but I don't believe that'll be this year though. Next year, I'm not sure if that is the case. Who knows? But yeah, there's quite a few other little bits and pieces to come. Happy Death Day 2,
So I've not seen the first one yet, but this is sort of a horror style movie, so maybe not for you.
No, well, I must admit, in terms of horror style movies, I've started watching the Purge movies.
Yeah. And we've got Zombieland 2 as well.
That'll be good. See, if it's zombies, I'll watch it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all right. I think we've got a Pet Sematary reboot as well.
Really?
Yeah, which might well work. The original Pet Sematary movie is really good. We've got an untitled Terminator movie as well, maybe.
Mm. That's the one that's supposed to completely rewrite out Terminator, what was it, Salvation or whatever Genesis, wasn't it?
Mm.
So...
And obviously It Chapter 2, which I look forward to that.
Yes. Yeah. Few good
But it's not
ones,
really horror, it's more suspense, and it is a really good movie.
Yeah.
Anyway, we went off topic there. Do you want to go to the...
the votes?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So in terms of votes, then we have, in third place, A Star Is Born, which neither of us have actually mentioned.
No, I've seen the original movie with Chris Christopherson and Barbra Streisand.
Yeah.
But I'm sure when it comes out on Sky, I'll watch it. Anyway, just have a look at it.
It's not been one that's been on my radar.
No, but the Mrs. Love, I think she's more... Lady Gaga's a good performer, to be honest. I think she's quite good, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be interesting.
In second place, we have Ready Player One. And then we have a joint first place. And probably where Lady Gaga got a name from, the group that sings Radio Gaga with Bohemian Rhapsody is in joint first place with Avengers Infinity War.
Mm.
So, just goes to prove that a lot of people enjoyed the Bohemian Rhapsody movie.
Yeah. There's a lot of... I think it's difficult when music type of biopics come out.
Yeah.
They normally pretty fall by the wayside pretty quickly, some of them.
Mm.
But I think where Queen is such a huge band and still is.
Well, the thing is with Queen, because they varied the style so much, there is always a style of music that they did that is in fashion.
Mm.
And when you look, there has been no more Queen since 1991, when Freddie died.
They never will be, unfortunately, unless they got some unreleased tracks hidden somewhere. Maybe
sorry, they did the Made in Heaven album, didn't they? Which had stuff that Freddie had done. So 1992 then.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, so there hasn't been any Queen for, 26 years? And yet they are still probably just as popular today as they were 26 years ago. They're always featured in films and stuff like that. You know, they are iconic. There's no two ways about it. More so than most other artists have ever dreamed of achieving.
Yeah.
And that,
I'd probably go with that.
And I'm not belittling other artists. You know, the only other ones that are probably even anywhere near Queen would be Michael Jackson, ABBA, and I suppose some people might say Prince as well. Although to me, Prince was always like a watered down version of Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, there's not many that have, I think, from the 80s or whatever, that have really achieved the status that Queen did.
Well, it's difficult to say because there's a lot of bands touring now even.
Yeah, but the thing is, if they weren't touring now from the 80s, yeah, would they still be as popular?
I don't know. Music's a different genre.
It's difficult.
It's hard to know. I mean, imagine if Freddie Mercury was still alive, and what would they be doing? Do you know what I mean?
Well, he'd be retired, wouldn't he? He'd be in his 70s.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, in the time between when he passed away and now, there would have been a few more albums.
Oh God, yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and maybe what makes Queen special is the fact that they did end so abruptly. Because sometimes when groups get to the later albums, they tend to be less creative. They tend to
They fizzle out a bit.
And maybe that might have been what would have happened to Queen if that did have continued. Who knows? They might not have done. They might have still been producing great songs, well into the 2000s. But as it is, Freddie died at the height.
Yeah.
So, anyway, shall we...
Swiftly move on, because my dog walker's not turned up yet, so we're going to get interrupted at some point.
Okay.
If we can get to the end. So, best sort of films released over the year for DVD, Blu-ray, 4K.
Yeah.
I think there's probably too many to mention.
Yes.
I'm not even sure, because this year, if I can't see my list from here, because it's in the other room. But the Batman trilogy movies...
Was that
pretty impressive?
I thought that was the year before.
Was it? I don't know. I know you picked it up this year, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, no, I got it for Christmas and I've been watching it. Just watched Batman Begins.
Yeah, and I think was Predator this year.
I think so.
4K
yeah,
remaster.
Yeah, I think so.
And obviously Ready Player One.
Yeah.
The Justice League.
Yeah.
Which I don't actually own that on. I don't think yet. Wonder Woman. Did that come out? That was this year.
Or was it last year?
I don't know. It's very difficult. But I think I'm going to just put one man in the box for me for this year, and that would be John Carpenter.
Yeah. So, They Live, The Fog, and Escape from New York.
And Halloween. Because Halloween got its own remaster a bit earlier in the year.
Yeah.
And then you had the special box sets, which I picked up 3 of them. So Escape from New York, The Fog, and They Live.
Yeah.
I've still got Prince of Darkness to pick up yet, but that is not in the same sort of box set. But they're great movies, and they're very well remastered. They're great. That's just the way they do. Some of these box sets can be a bit boring on DVD and Blu-ray, but there's some nice literature there and posters and stuff, which is well worth it if you're a big fan.
Yeah, well, I picked up the Escape from New York remastered, which was fantastic, and it had the soundtrack as well, which I really liked.
Yeah, I won't get to play that because I've got it on vinyl, so I've always played the vinyl edition. But yeah, no, it's great, and I think that's one of the highlights of my year. Actually, meeting the man himself as well. If we're going to say of things, for the year itself, as I've got to see quite a few concerts this year. But yeah, great, really good. What about yourself then? Anything else you want to expand on? Yeah,
Ready Player One, I would say, was surprisingly meh as a release, considering, how good the film is, because it is a good film, like we've said. The quality of the 4K wasn't really there because it was upscaled, which is such a shame. Especially considering it is a film about technology, that it wasn't ahead of the curve.
It's difficult because you've got a lot of special effects involved in the film there.
Yeah.
Where you might have had a film filmed in 4K when it's with minimal effects, would probably look better than something that has a lot of effects in, which is done differently and edited differently.
Well, when it's all CGI, which that is,
yeah,
to me there is no excuse of not rendering it in 4K.
No, but it might actually, like The Greatest Showman, for example.
Yeah.
Not that I've seen it yet. I've got it on my box to watch, but whether I watch it or not is another matter.
That was actually on Sky One on Christmas Day.
I know, it's on my recorded list anyway. I think it disappears in a week or two anyway, so it won't be there for long. Then you have to pay for it. But just the way that the film is filmed, it may look better. That's what I'm saying. But
well, there were live action bits, and I think that they were filmed in like 6K or something like that. But I think that the main stuff was rendered in 2, which is such
but then you compare that to Infinity War, maybe. But
yeah, Infinity War looked amazing in 4K, but Greatest Showman, that was fantastic in 4K. That was a true 4K movie.
Yeah.
And
did your missus like that? Didn't she?
Oh, she loved it.
Are you going to go and see him on tour?
Probably.
Because I think tickets are out soon, aren't they, for that?
Yeah.
Or they're already out now.
I don't know, but I'll have to have a
You
look
have,
into it.
you have to surprise and say we're going to see Hugh Jackman. That probably put you in the good books if you could do that one.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, the level of detail in that movie, when you actually look at it in 4K, it is stunning. Absolutely stunning. And if you're watching it on Sky Q in 4K, you'll see that.
Yeah.
You will see the level of detail in that movie. It's fantastic.
Yeah, okay.
So,
in last place,
we have The Greatest Showman, Infinity War, Escape from New York Remastered, Blade Runner 2047, you never mentioned that one, and Black Panther.
Yeah, that's right, because Blade Runner came out October and then got released early April, I think, didn't it?
Yeah.
But that looks gorgeous anyway. It does look gorgeous anyway. So.
Yeah, definitely. Ready Player One was second, and at first was Avengers Infinity War, which is not really that surprising.
Oh, yeah. About really.
Yeah.
Best new TV series broadcast or streamed. I think there's only one vid. There's probably two because some of the others are ongoing series in their fourth or fifth season.
Yeah, but that's fine because it's just new content broadcast. Yeah. That's what we're looking at.
Yeah. But I think really there's only one. Well, I say The Good Place, which I've not gone back to, and I was slowly losing faith with it because it wasn't keeping up a pace where it was interesting me.
You've got to watch it. Trust me, it picks up.
Yeah. But really, there's only one TV show, and that is Star Trek Discovery, to be honest.
Yeah, that's fantastic. But I'm surprised you haven't mentioned The Flash.
Yeah, no, that's been okay. That's been ongoing. Say it's not just The Flash because Arrow's great as well.
Yeah.
We won't mention DC, but Arrow's been a great show, and that's been moving swiftly on. And Supergirl has always been sort of third place for me on that show. That's the type of series, but.
Well, you're not a 16-year-old girl, are you? So it's going to be lower in the list.
No, some of the storylines are a bit weak for me, but there's a couple of nice females in that. You know, we're allowed to.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that, to be honest, it is aimed more at trying to get younger women more into the whole girl power kind of, strong female character sort of roles, don't you think?
Yeah.
Which is nothing matter with that, it's exactly who really you think about a Supergirl movie or TV series should be aimed at. Yeah, I would agree. Star Trek Discovery has been the standout one this year. The Flash, I think, is a strong performer as well.
Always has been, to be honest. I mean, the cast is really, really gel well with that show.
Yeah, and this year as well, I also enjoyed Arrow.
Yes, I'm a little bit behind. I've not seen the crossover story yet.
Yeah, no, you will want to watch that.
Well, I mean, it's just, I have seen trailer for it, so I know what we're heading for. But I think I really, I always look forward to watching The Flash more than any of them. Arrow comes a bit second place, but yeah, it's just great actors and actresses in that. You know, it's just marvelous.
Yeah, I mean, The Good Place. I think it's still in a good place, to be quite honest with you. I enjoyed the story. I agree it was a bit slow at first, but it had them all going, being resurrected and carrying on the lives from where they died and stuff like that, which is fine, but it meant that they had to do a bit of character building again because they didn't know each other, but like yada, yada, yada. But they got there, and what happens afterwards is great, and the way they've taken the story now. And another one that we didn't mention was Lost in Space.
Yeah, I watched a couple of episodes of that, but it sort of fizzled out for some reason. I don't know why I didn't hold my...
I watched the whole season. So, shall we go on to the votes?
Yeah, well...
We've got The Haunting of Hill House, The Flash, Star Trek Discovery, Dynasties, Designated Survivor, and Better Call Saul.
There you go.
And at number 1, we have The Bodyguard and Killing Eve, neither of which I've actually watched.
Okay. Moving on.
Yeah. And best Blu-ray, DVD, or 4K TV series released.
Well, I haven't really bought any TV series.
Right.
I haven't done that this year.
Yeah. I've only bought one series this year. Yeah, well, actually, no. I've only bought one that's been released as a new release this year. But I've bought others like Space 1999, the complete series, or whatever.
Yeah, they've been released.
And V.
Yeah, I got you on that. You got them, yeah.
Yeah, and I picked up the other day the complete set of the Blackadder ones for £10 on DVD, which is incredibly good value for money.
Oh yes. Just off topic, have you listened to IGN with Brian Blessed yet?
No, not yet.
He swears in that.
Oh, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all.
And when he's talking about the zombies, because he was in Call of Duty, wasn't he? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
You've got to listen to that. It's really funny.
I'll have a listen.
Anyway, so really there's not much to say here, but I'm going to say, yeah, Star Trek Discovery looks amazing.
It is amazing.
Should have been released in 4K, but I don't know why.
Oh, it should have done. Especially when you consider that it was actually released on Netflix in 4K. I don't understand why they haven't done a 4K release.
No, I've not seen the reason for that.
Unless it's to get you to buy it twice.
Oh, possibly.
Which I'll end up doing.
Of course, that's why I'll hold off. So what? Is this the true chart for it then?
Yeah, this is a chart.
Do you want to read this one?
So we have in second place Westworld Season 2, Red Dwarf Seasons 1 to 8, Curb Your Enthusiasm,
I'm going to go quiet for a minute, all right? You carry on.
Car Share and Captain Scarlet, with the number 1 slot, not surprisingly, and 300% of the rest, ahead of the rest, is Star Trek Discovery on DVD and Blu-ray. And it does look, I have to admit, utterly fantastic when you're actually watching it. And here is another message, and this is from our own Ace Plant Man, Mark.
Hi Haydn, hi Steve. It's Ace Plant Man Mark here. I just wanted to say Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thanks for a great year of podcasting and keep on gaming. Bye.
Okay, so our next category up is Best Film Actor. And for me, I think there's been a few good ones. Chris Pratt is always great as Star-Lord. Chadwick Boseman, who was the Black Panther. I think we've got... You can't not think of Iron Man without thinking Robert Downey Jr. But for me, the runaway one this year was actually Rami Malek, who played Freddie Mercury. So, what about yourself?
Well, all of those I'll agree with. But there's one... Is there one actor that I could add to that list?
Jamie Lee Curtis, by any chance?
Well, that's an actor, not actress.
Oh, sorry, yes, that's true.
Unless she's changed her gender, which I was going to put into my list anyway, but obviously in the next one. But no, I think you've probably covered them all there, to be honest. There's not someone I can think of to add to the list. I mean, Ty Sheridan was someone completely new for what he was doing.
Yeah.
So he did pretty well, but all the big hitters there.
Yeah, well... In terms of the ones that we've got loads in second place. Ty Sheridan, Ryan Gosling, Robert Downey Jr., Michael B. Jordan, Johnny Depp. That was for the Strange Beasts thing. Hugh Jackman, Chris Pratt, Bradley Cooper, but the runaway one with 400% more votes than any other individual was Rami Malek for his portrayal as Freddie Mercury. So
I haven't seen I've seen some of the performance. So
he's fantastic. He really is. Anyway, best film actress.
Yeah. So the film. It's a few films I've not got to see.
Yeah.
Like Red Sparrow, for example, and but I love Jennifer Lawrence. But I did see Mother this year, but I think that was from the year before. I'm not too sure. but that was 2 hours I want to forget about.
Yeah.
But as you said earlier, and not as an actor but an actress, I really want to put Jamie Lee Curtis back in the mix.
Yeah.
For her performance as Laurie Strode in Halloween. And she's such a great actress, and she's been an actress for years. God knows how many years now, and she's done so many roles. I mean, I even watched another Christmas movie over Christmas, which was Trading Places.
Mm.
And, you know, she does so well, and hats off to her if she gets to be in the next Halloween movie.
I've not seen Trading Places in donkey's years. It's a great
film. It's worth a watch.
Oh, I know
it's worth a watch.
I've watched it loads of times.
Some of these honourable mentions that we've got there. So, Olivia Cooke, obviously, she was in Ready Player One. One actress I have got a soft spot for, but I've not seen the sequel yet. Evangelina Lilly, who was in obviously Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah.
Emily Blunt, I've not seen her movie this year.
What, Mary Poppins?
No, the other one she did, where you got to be quiet in the forest.
Oh, A Quiet Place. I've seen that. It's fantastic.
So, yeah, and I don't know what I haven't seen the reviews for Mary Poppins yet. I'm not sure how well it's done. I just don't
fancy that at all, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, I'll watch it when it comes out, you know. But yeah, no, it's and you say Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, Scarlett Johansson.
She's always worth a shot in the dark, isn't she?
Or in the light, or any other way, to be quite honest.
Yeah. I think she needs to do one of her own movies again, like she did with Lucy.
Well, she's going to be doing Black Widow, the movie.
Yeah.
So we've got that to look forward to. I saw Jennifer Lawrence in Red Sparrow. I thought she was excellent, and also Evangeline Lilly was excellent in Ant-Man as well.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah. So in third place we have Rosamund Pike. Not sure who she is. Olivia Cooke, Jennifer Lawrence, Evangeline Lilly, and Emily Blunt. In second place we have Lady Gaga. What on earth was she in?
Well, she was in A Star Is Born, remember?
Oh yeah, of course. I'd forgot.
And that was a big film this year, to be honest.
Not seen it. I have no desire to see it, I have to admit. But top place, our favourite is Scarlett Johansson.
Mm.
So, best actor in a TV series?
Yeah. I think over the first two seasons, I think I would put Ted Danson up the top there with The Good Place.
Yeah. Well, season 2 was this year.
Yeah. I think season 2, because there was a long stretch between the two, wasn't there?
Well, it was January until September.
Yeah.
So you were still seeing season 2 this year as well as season 3.
God, yeah. Crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's funny, I TV series I seem more to forget about than I do movies.
Mm.
And watching a lot of the stuff that I do, actually I would put up there, I'd have to dig his name out. And if you just bear with me a second, because I do watch quite a few TV series within the standard channels and not Sky.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I think the kid, shall I say, in this case.
Oh, plays young Sheridan. Is that the one you're going to say?
Young Sheldon.
Sheldon, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Because we've been watching it as Ian Armitage.
Mm.
And seeing him talking to Sheldon in The Big Bang, which is one of the latest episodes.
Yeah.
Because what happens is Sheldon loses faith with what he believes in because he's trying to put a paper together which gets disproven.
Yeah.
By the other guys, and there's a cassette that's been hidden away to be taken out in a case of an emergency, and it's the VCR tape was recorded when he was a kid, so he filmed this on a VCR tape to come out in a case of emergency. So what they did was they was able to use young Sheldon to be on the VCR tape.
Mm.
Talking to himself as Sheldon in The Big Bang Theory.
Yeah. And
that was really clever. And I think he did really well. And I will put to be honest, The cast of The Big Bang Theory, as much as I can't hate to say we're coming to an end soon, we're probably halfway through the series at the minute. And all of those guys in there as well, I'd love to put in that list. They won't be in, I don't think they're going to be in the list anywhere. But I put them as a collective, to be honest, as well as my favourite.
Yeah, fair enough.
And yourself?
Well, for me, I would say that I love Ted Danson in, The Good Place. I think that he'd done incredibly well with that as a role. But also William Jackson Harper, who plays Chidi, I think he plays a really good role as well. Another show is Andrew Lincoln in The Walking Dead, who plays Rick Grimes. And as we know, he's now going to be doing a movie for The Walking Dead as well. But also Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who plays Negan. I think they're all fantastic actors. So in terms of nominations, we've got loads of second places and one front runner. And it's not someone we've mentioned either. So in terms of second place, we've got Tom Selleck, Ted Danson, Larry David, Kiefer Sutherland, Jonathan Banks, Jeffrey Wright, Eric Dane, and Bob Odenkirk. But number one is the guy who's one of the people tipped for being the next Bond, which is Richard Madden.
Would you like to elaborate on him?
Not really, because I know very little about what he's in. I think he's in The Bodyguard, isn't he?
Oh, okay.
That's all that I know. I've not actually seen anything that he's been in.
Well, he was in Game of Thrones as well, wasn't he?
Was he? Oh, yeah, of course he was, because he was King of the North.
Okay, and he was in Luke. What else was he in? I'm just having a quick look here. He's done a few bits and pieces. He was in Cinderella but I think, and he was in Castlevania as well. But I think one of the main things is basically going to be Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
I'm going to poo-poo on you because you've seen all of that. You should have remembered.
I should have done, but to be honest, I think he looked quite different to the pictures I'd seen of him in The Bodyguard.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he was really good as a King of the North on there. He had ended up having quite a unfortunate demise in that series, shall we say?
Yeah.
Okay. Should we move on to the best actress in a TV series?
Yeah. And to be honest, I'm going to just stay away from Big Bang for a minute because they all did very well anyway. But and also you've got people like in Flash and that. But I'd say I think I agree with you with Sonique in Star Trek Discovery.
Yeah, Sonique Martin-Green.
Yeah, she comes out on top this year, I think, for me.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it was Sonique, but also Emma Stone in Maniac. If you've seen that. That's on Netflix.
I don't think I have, actually.
That's on Netflix. It's worth watching.
Yeah.
So in terms of votes, we had one clear winner and lots of also-rans. So Victoria Pedretti, Rhea Sheehan, Keely Hawes, Jodie Comer, Italia Ricci, Florence Pugh, Ivan Rachel Wood and Amanda Fuller, all in second place, but in first place we had Sonique Martin-Green.
There you go.
So, last category of the year, best gadget.
This can be anything you want, really, can't it?
Anything that's on sale this year.
So, I did pick up an Echo, and I thoroughly enjoy using that.
Yeah, don't worry, I edited the Echo out.
There we go. Mine's turned off. She's next door at the moment.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say the PSVR for me.
Yeah.
Because when you put your head on that and what you get for it, I think it's pretty amazing. I mean, there are other VRs out there, obviously, and you know that.
Yeah. Well, I have two VRs.
You do, yeah. And there's other stuff out there. Not that I've got this stuff. Is some stuff like, you got your Fitbits and stuff like that everyone's can get into.
Smart watches and stuff like that.
Yeah. And my Galaxy 9 Plus is quite a good phone, to be honest. That's really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, VR for me, I'm going to say the PlayStation VR.
Yeah.
And we've been discussing it through the whole show. It's really good. There are some great things to enjoy on a. You don't like to play too long on these devices, but with the amount of content that's out there and what there is to come.
Oh, there's loads.
But I'm a bit disappointed that I think Ace Combat is going to be a short mission within the game itself. I'm not sure if the whole game's going to be in VR.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I don't know too much more information about that yet. But that comes out in January.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll look forward to that. What about yourself?
A few things. I think the Ring 2 doorbell is fantastic. The way that it works. And it allows you to answer your phone from anywhere where there's a internet signal. Not your phone, your door, rather.
I'd like to get one, actually.
Oh, they're brilliant. They are absolutely brilliant. The only thing with them is that they're really pernickety about their Wi-Fi. Has to be on channel 5, which is stupid. And you have to basically have a repeater or your main router right near where they are within a few feet.
Yeah.
They're quite bandwidth heavy. Why they don't use better compression, in terms of the video stream, I don't know, but hey-ho. The Xbox One Elite controller, the white version, that's really nice as well. But my main gadget, I think, that I've got this year, that I've only just got, is the Elgato Stream Deck.
Well, yeah, we're talking, even though we're not talking about Christmas and stuff like that, you picked this up just a few days ago, haven't you?
Yeah, well, yesterday, in a matter of fact.
Yeah.
And I've just spent most of yesterday reconfiguring the Elgato to suit my needs, and it's brilliant because it's not just for streaming, but you can do all sorts of things with this as a gadget. And you can have sort of like folders with keys in. So effectively speaking, you could have like a folder going into apps, and then in that folder you can have another folder for each one of your apps, and all of your shortcut keys, you can have that. And then the screens have LCD buttons, the whole thing. It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. But I'll do a review of that, probably coming back next show.
Yeah.
When I've had a bit more use out of it.
Cool.
So go on, you do the count of the best.
It's funny because we're gonna have one winner here. I think we're all gonna guess the winner, aren't we?
Yes.
Because I'm probably meant it's sold, but
and I'll say it again.
So the also rounds in this. Obviously, we've got the Xbox White controller, we've got the Samsung Gear Watch, the Ring Doorbell 2, and we got on the player smartphone, the Sync monitor, and an Apple G-Sync monitor, and we got obviously the Apple Watch, whichever generation, doesn't really matter. But the winner, hands down, is, like you said, Haydn,
the Amazon Echo.
Someone else in here?
Yes, indeed.
And yeah, rightly so, though, to be honest.
Right, so.
I think every man and his dog probably got one for Christmas.
I think probably did. Anyway, here's a quick Christmas message from Nicky.
Hello, Nick Wilson here. Just thought I'd message in to say Happy Christmas to Haydn, Steve, and all the Pulp Culture Gamer listeners. I hope you get all the games you want this Christmas. If not, just buy them yourselves in the January sales. Once again, Happy Christmas and a Merry New Year.
Right, okay, so that's the last of the Christmas messages as well. I've got to give you a Christmas joke.
Go on then.
Okay. Once upon a time, many years ago, there was the Viking, Rudolph the Red, and he was stood in his hut looking out of the window, and he turned round to his wife, and he said, I think it's going to chuck it down. And his wife looked at him and said, you can't possibly know that? How do you think you know that? Well, it's simple, my dear. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
I think that's dreadful.
Well, that's the whole point of a Christmas joke, isn't it? I've got another one for you if you like.
I'm speechless.
I've got a worse one. The other day, I was down at Tesco and there was all this kerfuffle, so I thought, I'll just keep out of the way. So I sat down on the bench and then there was a police officer looking at me and I didn't think anything of it. And I looked in this bag and he said, don't touch that bag, don't move. And I turned around and looked, it was a police officer addressing me. And he said, it's a bomb. We think it's a bomb. And I said, don't be daft. And I looked in and there was a sandwich, but it had wires coming out of it. And I said, well, it's a sandwich. And he said, no, it's a bomb. Is it ticking? I said, no, it's turkey.
I think we should just give the show a wrap now. We're gonna have all the viewers leaving in droves.
I think we probably are. So anyway, that's it for the Christmas show this year. Do you want to do your outro, Steve?
Yeah. So Twitter is @Steve07. PSN ID is the real Steve07. Xbox Steve07 and email Steve07 at popculturegamers.co.uk. And yours are.
Well, mine, just search for HERJ UK on absolutely everything, whether that's Xbox Live, PSN, Steam, Battle.net, Twitter, whatever. It's HERJ UK. Don't forget also you can follow us on Facebook. We've got a group there. You can also follow us, the show, on Twitter @PopCultureGamer. If you've got any inquiries, you can email podcast@popculturegamers.co.uk. There is our website as well, popculturegamers.podbean.com, and brand new out of the box this week, we also have our new Patreon, because we are rapidly approaching the time when we've got to pay for new hosting. So the Patreon's there, so just look for Pop Culture Gamer on patreon.com if you wish to support the show, which would be very, very appreciated.
Rightly so.
Anyway, I think that's it. So since that we've had Christmas, we hope you've had a Merry Christmas, and we hope you have an absolutely fantastic and even better New Year.
Yeah, and enjoy the rest of the holidays.
Indeed. So in that case, it's Happy New Year from me.
And a Happy New Year from him. Good night.
Good night.
You are about to witness history in the making.